Something I have really loved about Xpress is the wealth of information and knowledge. We live this life in such hypotheticals and ethereals and theology that can be so big to tackle, but Xpress really dials it down to practical, applicational life, personhood, ministry, leadership, and I loved the wealth of knowledge from so many people.
One of the things I've really loved about C3 is the relationships I've been able to develop, even here. Some I've had in the past, some I'm developing new relationships. And I think what we've learned primarily from these last several days is that conferences have helped a lot, and I've been a part of other conferences before. And being a part of Xpress, we were retaining a lot. Not only that, we've been getting a lot of information, not just verbally, but also to take home. One of the biggest things I've enjoyed about C3 Xpress was really just the relationships we were able to establish, not just establish, but really connect with other people. You know, there's one thing to get a lot of information. There's another thing to get a whole family along with that information. That's really what I found with C3, especially C3 Xpress. We're getting up in the morning, we're working out together, we're getting a whole bunch of information as well on how to best start churches, lead our churches. In addition to that, we're eating together, hanging out together, and then we go to bed and we wake up and we do it all over again. And I think my biggest takeaway will be the relationships that we establish here.
Perfect. Well, I think overall, Xpress has been just such an amazing experience for my wife and I. I think one of the biggest takeaways, at least, and you know, I've chatted with my wife about this, but it's just been super eye-opening to see that, you know, one thing's about hearing about the C3 family, and you know, sometimes we, at least for us, we've been in the Toronto bubble, but it's been just so eye-opening that it's like, it's a huge family and that they're here to support my wife and I in this dream that we have, and just build with us. And so I think it's just been so encouraging seeing that there's a huge family behind us, and it's not just, and that we're not doing this on our own. It's been amazing so far.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience to be a part of Xpress.
Yeah, it's been great.
And I think some of the top things that were meaningful to me were being able to be equipped with a lot of practical knowledge that's super applicable to being in ministry today. And whether it's someone that is already a pastor or someone that hasn't even started like church planting yet, but that has that vision in their heart, they're just leading a team or whatever it is, it's like we're able to walk away with practical knowledge that we can use to impact our ministries.
I think the thing that I really valued out of it is to plant a church that's inside of you. There's a million models that exist, but I think here within the community environment, you can talk about what's unique to you and you can bounce it off of other people, refine it, and people aren't coming in there to go, hey, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we change this big thing that's unique to you? It's more about, okay, if you're doing it in the spirit and you're doing it in community, then we can partner and collaborate and see you be successful and celebrate you all along the way.
One of the things that I super value from attending Xpress has been the ability to foster existing relationships as well as make new ones with people that are in either a similar stage of life or ministry that's within our C3 context. And being a part of seeing what our movement is within this region and seeing the faces to those names has been incredible.
I think something that has just been an amazing thing as part of this being on this journey is the fact that something's been reignited in me that I had a few years ago, and coming to this has just been really special to awaken that again in a way that is very deep, both in just my spirit and in the way that I see how God is viewing me. Another thing that's really been impactful is just the sheer amount of support that comes from a global level. I think it's really important that we have support on the ground in our towns, our cities, our states, and C3 Americas, but just the fact that people coming from halfway around the world to come and support us and to launch us into these new seasons of life is just an amazing thing.
100%. I think my favorite little piece of gold, there's many, that happens over these few days, is that the culture you create and cultivate at home is what your church ends up being.
Yeah.
And that, if you're not doing it at home, it's going to show in church on a much more magnified scale. So it really keeps you accountable. And that's so huge. It was such a huge revelation for me, but it's one nugget out of many gold nuggets this week.
Yeah, that's good.
I would say first and foremost, just the community, the group of people, like-minded people chasing after the same goal is just walking in Christ's footsteps. I think that was amazing. You get into the prayer and just learning how other people do it through devotionals, through prayer time, through reading of their Bible. Everybody has a good way, and when you're sharing that type of information with each other, I mean, it's gold. The workouts, I love how Pastor Mark put together the whole mind, body, and soul, like it's all interconnected. It's not just physical, it's not just spiritual, it's not just mental, but it's a combination of all three. If you're lacking in one, you're gonna lack in the other. One thing that challenged me, I think, is the understanding of what actual leadership is. It's more than just the word leadership. There's a lot that goes involved, and talking with Pastor Jeff and Pastor Mark about all the things the process that it takes to get to that point. Like, you've never arrived. You're not just leader, like you're constantly evolving. It's always something different. There's new challenges, there's new convictions. There's just everything that encompasses being that. And you, as a leader, you never stop growing.
Yeah, there's been so many amazing things that have happened being here. You knew coming into it you'd get a lot of content, a lot of cool stuff, and obviously the wisdom from people who've been pastoring, planting over the years has just been amazing. But to me, to be honest, one of the things that I found most vital to this whole experience is like the relationships that we've developed. We've just felt like family really fast. Came in not knowing many people and leaving just with these relationships, and just learning the principle of like life moving at the speed of relationships. And so as we're going through our daily lives, as we're leading our ministries, we need people that are in proximity to us to like depend on, call when we're going through a difficult time, and be there for us, and vice versa. So it's been an amazing experience.